I'm dealing with a very serious subject here. I believe that some criminal laws have been passed in the United States within maybe the past 5 to 7 years, and it's been done under the nose of the public. And I want to make the public aware of these laws, as something needs to be done about this. I'm encouraging a class action lawsuit against any government agency, whether it's federal, state, county, or city, that takes our private information and allows any Tom, Dick, Joe, or Harry in the public to get that information, even if they pay for it, and to publish it online. That such individuals need to be arrested for violation of privacy. Right now, with our current laws, in most cities, states, counties in the United States, I'm not sure about other countries, but in this country, somebody, let's say you registered to vote, which is usually under the realm of the state, okay? That's a state, that's considered a state public record, okay? If something is a public record, obviously you can't register to vote unless you give them private information, where you live, your telephone number, your social security number, your driver's license. Now, they're not allowed to give out your driver's license number or your social security number, but, and a lot of people don't know this, they are perfectly within their legal right to give out your private address to anybody who wants to know what it is. Okay, that I can understand to an extent, but this is here's my beef. They can give out your private address to anybody, even somebody whose intention for getting that address is to publish it online so that everybody in the world knows where you live. You may say, well, it hasn't happened to me yet. You don't know. The problem is there are no laws to stop it. A criminal could get your private address and use it and publish it online, or use it to harass you, and there's nothing to stop him. We need to have a law that when somebody asks for private information on individuals from a government agency, that they have to sign a paper promising that they will not publish that information online, and if they do, they will be punished. Right now, somebody can just get the voter registration information for most states. I know it's true in Florida, and it's probably true in other states as well. They can publish everybody's private address online. And that's your punishment for registering to vote. You lose your privacy. It shouldn't be like that, folks. You see, I have learned about this because I'm experiencing it personally. And I did some Google searches on some other people and found out it's nauseating how easy it is to get private information because people are making websites. Now, people accuse me of invading privacy, but I never publish anybody's private address. I don't give out telephone numbers, and I certainly don't give out social security and those numbers because that's an invasion of privacy, and I try to respect people's privacies, But there are Jesuits out there who can get your private address just because you registered to vote or you had your house appraised by some city or county property appraisal, and then they can publish your address online so that the whole world knows where you live. If you don't care about that, fine, but if this bothers you like it bothers me, I want you to join with me and my men. We're going to get a class action lawsuit against all government agencies that participate in this and that allow our private information to go out to any Tom, Dick, Joe, and Harry. You may say, but it's not their fault that the laws passed. We're going to find out who passed these laws. I think the laws were Jesuit laws passed in secret under our noses. And I really believe if the public was aware of what kind of laws these are, they would be outraged and would demand the laws be revoked. I want all such laws that have passed that allow anybody to get a list of everybody's addresses and then publish it online, whether it's through a county appraiser's office or a city property appraiser's office or Florida voter registration. We're going to all get a class action lawsuit and sue every government organization out there that is doing this for invasion of privacy and make them stop. we're going to tell them you either rewrite these laws so that when somebody gets a list from you of all our private addresses, that they're not allowed to publish it without being considered a criminal. Right now, they can just do it and they don't get arrested or anything. It's considered public record. You have to fill out special forms saying that you revoke their permission to give their address to any Tom, Dick, Joe, and Harry that want your address, even if their motive for doing it is to publish your private information online. Okay, so I think this is really unjust. I'm not just outraged for myself. I'm outraged for every one of you out there who don't want your private address published online. And it can happen. If you have registered to vote in your state, that's probably considered public record. Somebody can just pay for a list from the state and then publish it online, and then everybody knows where you live. Same with, they can put your picture online. They can, I mean, it's just, it depends on the state's laws. We're going to have my men at Church of Gail investigate every government entity in the United States, every single state. We're going to publish a list of those counties, states, cities, and even the federal government, if we have to, that allow people to invade our privacy by publishing a list of all our addresses online. And any state, city, federal, or county organization that has such laws, we're going to expose them. We're going to find out how those laws got passed, because I'm sure the public is not going to like this. These laws could not have been passed with public consent and knowledge. They were passed under the table somehow. Okay? We want these laws revoked. This is an invasion of privacy. And then when we find out how the laws got passed, we're going to find out if the Jesuits were behind it, which I suspect they were. And then if the city, county, and state, we say, well, we didn't pass the laws, somebody else did. We're going to find out who caused these laws to get passed, and then the lawsuit's going to go on them. I'm sure the government's going to say, it's not our fault, but we'll blame it on the legislature, okay? We're going to find out who caused these laws to get passed. I bet it was a Jesuit, and then we're going to sue the Jesuits for invasion of privacy. There's another thing I need to bring up. This is important too. I have just discovered that Zack Knight is not only using his clone switch out computer technology on sites like Amazon and like, you know, Barnes and Noble and the book selling websites, he's actually cloned and taken over entire search engines. He has cloned and taken over Google.com, which is a major, major search engine, so that when you go on Google and you do a search, he can control what results come up when you do your search, because he clones the Google search engine and controls what comes up when you do search, you know, when you search for things. Which means if he decides, now that he's got the laws in his favor, since I believe those Jesuit laws which allow anybody to get private information from a government entity and publish them online, now that he's got that, and since he can do that and get away with it because it's legal, because those are Jesuit sneaky laws that got pushed under the table, now he's got the legal right not only to get your private address, but he can even control how people can find it online. And if he wants to get 50 websites up all at once that have your private address up there, he can do it. Because not only has he managed to pass laws that make it so that any Tom, Dick, Joe, or Jesuit can get your private address and publish it online if you registered to vote or had your house appraised as a property value, which means if you give your information to the city, the county, or the state, your privacy's gone, man. Forget it. Goodbye. Okay, the next thing after that is then he can, now he controls the search engine. So when people put your name in there, maybe where you live, boom, it all comes up, boom, boom. They get all this private information. They know where you live. They can probably get your Now, I've been really careful. I actually had to change my phone number. But, you know, some of this stuff, I didn't know that it was dangerous to register to vote in my state. You lose your privacy when you do that. Did you know that? I wish I could revoke my voter registration right now. That's how angry I am about this. And did you know I'm not a homeowner, but I better be real careful if some city or county appraiser comes and appraises my property, because that's all public knowledge, and they're allowed to publish it online because of some evil, wicked Jesuit law, which I want revoked. We're going to have a class action lawsuit against it. We're going to investigate every county, city, state, federal organization and find out which laws they're obeying. And if we find out it's okay for them to publish our private address from any Tom, Dick, Joe, and Harry who asks, we're going to put them in part of a class action lawsuit. Yeah. And then we're going to embarrass you, United States, on international news, man. We're going to let the whole world know what it's like to live in the United States. You don't have any privacy in this country. And you accuse Russia of being communist? Why, United States, you are starting to operate like communists right now. You got every Tom, Dick, Joe's, and Harry's number, their address, their social security number, their telephone, and then even worse, you're allowed to publish. You can give it to anybody, any Jesuit, and they can publish it online. This isn't right. Okay? I want everybody who's listening to me, if you think this is outrageous, you contact my men at gailcordschuler@gmail.com. That's our Church of Gail email. And put your name on a list. We're going to get a huge petition going, and we're going to get a major class action lawsuit against every government organization out there that allows this invasion of privacy to occur. And then we're going to, since they're listing us, our private address online, we're going to make a list of every one of them who's cooperating in this Jesuit conspiracy against our privacy. It's not right that they have the right to give out our private address to somebody who wants to publish it online. Okay? And if Zack Knight's behind this, we're going to expose him too. And he's behind and we're also going to sue Zack Knight for not just cloning the booksellers, but the search engines, so that he can control, he can switch out Wikipedia with a Jesuit version to make it appear like Brent Spiner's married to Laurie McBride when he's not. Or he can switch out IMDb with a Jesuit version to make it appear like Laurie McBride's married to Brent Spiner when she's not. Brent has actually been executing her, okay? Okay, folks? If you want your privacy protected and you don't want your private address published just because you go register to vote or have your property appraised, you email my men at gailcordschuler@gmail.com. That's the email for Church of Gail. We're going to get a class action lawsuit. We're going to give on Gabriel Chana Fox News Channel. We're going to list every government entity out there that cooperates in this invasion of our privacy. If we find out that any Tom, Dick, Joe, and Harry, let's say, can contact the state of Massachusetts voter registration list and publish everybody's private address on that list, we're going to sue that state of Massachusetts for invasion of privacy and cooperating with Jesuits in this. Jesuits don't respect anybody's privacy. That's why they made the crazygail.com website. Okay? Let's get going. I know my men are going to go for this. And we got a Harvard Law School graduate, Terrence Jenkins, who's probably going to head the whole thing up. We're going to get a class action lawsuit against every single government, and we're going to embarrass them. You're going to invade our privacy. We're going to put you on a list and let the world know which government agencies out there do not respect our privacy. And we're also going to sue Zack Knight for cloning entire search engines so that he can control how people find information, so that if he wants to expose every private detail of somebody, he can do it by controlling the search engines. We're going to sue him for that too. Okay, here's my video for today. Have fun, Zack Knight. I'm getting sick of you invading my privacy, and we're going to get some laws passed.